I started waitressing at a diner when I was 15. There was a regular that would always come in on Saturdays, and I was always really excited when he did because he tipped really well. Not only that, but he was a super nice guy. He was an older man, and he actually reminded me a little bit of my grandpa, so we would chat for a while every time he came in, and it was always a pleasant experience. Well, one week I had to switch my Saturday shift for a Sunday shift, and while I was working that Sunday, my boss asked me for my dad's phone number. He told me he wanted some landscaping done, and my dad was a landscaper, so it made sense, and I didn't really think much of it. A week or so later, the night before my next shift, my dad asked me to talk. He told me that I wasn't going to be going to the diner tomorrow, and my heart dropped. I was absolutely devastated. I could not believe that I just got fired from my very first job. He then went on to ask if I remember the old man that was a regular. I said yes, wondering if my boss was mad about the generous tips and that's why he fired me. My dad continued, telling me that that man had come into the diner looking for me that Saturday, but I wasn't working. He apparently asked my boss where I was because he had a gift for me, and my boss thought that was strange. Apparently, my boss told him that I wasn't working that day, but that he would take the gift and make sure it got to me. And then the old man handed over a garbage bag filled with items. My boss looked through the bag and saw that there were a bunch of stuffed animals, perfumes, chocolates, and a handwritten card with $100 in it. I never got to read the card, but I was told that it was extremely inappropriate. My dad and boss had already contacted the police at this point, and because I was a minor, they were able to get a restraining order against the guy. I did get fired that day, but it was for my own safety. And I tell you this because there were so many obvious red flags that I didn't see because I thought he was just a nice guy. In our conversations, he would ask me what school I went to, what kind of car my parents drove, and if I was involved in after-school sports. And I thought he was just a lonely guy trying to make conversation. But apparently not, because after the restraining order was put in place, he was extremely angry and would lurk outside the diner waiting for either me or my boss every day until he was arrested. These people don't look like monsters. They look just like normal, nice, regular people. And if I hadn't had to switch my shift that day, who knows how things would have ended up.